Welcome to the Daily Dish with Leanne Ely. This is a show about you, your life, and the vibrancy you want. Join us for daily motivation, wise women's tips, and more as we collectively gather together and move the needle in our lives, heart, mind, body, and soul. Now, here is your host, Leanne Ely, and the Daily Dish.
It's FriYAY! Are you excited or what? I certainly am. I love me some Friday. All right, here we go. That's a little bit better. Also, I have a chair here. This is Mark was sitting here with me. We were going over some stuff. Isn't that funny? I keep forgetting to clean up the area behind me. But anyway, welcome to FriYAY! I'm so glad you're here. I see Jocelyn and Catherine in the house. There's my girl Nancy. Cheers to you, Nancy. Good to have you here, Denise. I see Jane. I see Diane. And here we all are. Hot Melt 30. Who's doing it? Pinkies up if you're Hot Melt 30-ing, because that is the way to go. Right, Lynn? It is the way to go. This is how you get lasting results with what you're doing. So it's a big deal. You can start it right now. Why not? So maybe you're not going to do Hot Melt 30. Maybe you're going to do Hot Melt 22. So what? It's better than nothing. SavingDinner.com/30 to jump in on the fun, because it really is quite fun. Hi, Lily. I'm glad you're here. And of course, Jocelyn, she's hashtagging away. That's part of our Hot Melt 30. We're going to be talking about it just a little bit today. Hey, Chris, glad you're here. And Hot Melt 30 is all the things, all the things. We also have, getting into the last days here of our Vibrant Body Detox. That's our supplement of the week. Special screaming deal on this. Buy two, you'll get one for free. Once you check it out, go to savingdinner.com/show. My philosophy on any kind of detox or cleanse type thing is, yeah, we need to be looking at that, but our bodies are constantly in a state of cleaning up. Every night when you go to sleep, your body's cleaning up, at least if you get to bed early enough. If you're a night owl and staying up until 2, 3 o'clock in the morning, you kiss that goodbye. But that's when we scrub. Oh, thanks, Lily. You're so sweet. Clean hair. Clean hair. What can I tell you? I'm ready to cut all this business off, though. Let me tell you, I'm just... Jenny and her little waves, I just was looking at that and going, so much less hair. That would be this much less hair. Wouldn't that be fun? Maybe. We'll see. Hey, Tracy, Vanessa. Good to have you here. How about some glasses so I can bloody well see? Gracie's in the house as well. And there's our girl, Carol. Happy to have you here. Jackie's here as well. So, Joanne, I would feel bad if Joanne wasn't here. She's my girl, always here. Anyway, savingdinner.com/show. Go read that page and find out how come we have this detox product. It's really good. There's some really good information there. So check it out. Hey, Tammy, you did make it live, and I'm so glad. And I know the other thing is it's only buy two. Usually it's buy three. This time it's buy two. Special deal. Go grab it. Hot Melt Mix is what I'm drinking, and I'm toasting my girl Nancy, because Nancy and I have made a little promise to each other that we're going to be drinking this every day at showtime, when it's showtime. Hey, Sue. So go get your hot milk on, because this is electrolytes. I'm going to explain a little bit more about that, because we actually have somebody who's asking questions about that. Angie and Nance and who else is here? Alice. Good to have you here. So we have a ton of questions. I'm going to give you the answers here in just a sec. First of all, are you signed up for our text messages? Do it. All you have to do is text the word join to this phone number, 855-960-3720. You'll be added to our list. If you put the word join, you have to do it all in caps. We send you a message back, and then you reply yes. Yes says, please. Yeah, let's do this. Put me on your list. This is just for your safety and precaution, that we're not spamming you. We're doing something else that's just a little bit, nefarious. We don't do that. Corliss, hi. So that's an important thing. Jim is in the house. We're doing questions and answers today, but you can do a question yourself next week. Just send it into support@savingdinner.com and put question for Leanne on Friday in the subject line. I'm talking about an email, of course. I will answer it. That's how the whole thing works. You know what, Tracy? I accidentally put some hot milk mix in my Wise Woman's tea yesterday, and I couldn't figure out what was going on. When I realized I was trying to cool mine down just a little bit, and I used a little hot milk mix. It wasn't bad. Why not? Hey, Terry, I'm glad you're here. So we have all of that. 2 full blooms that I want to tell you about. Okay, 2. First one is Saturday, April 23rd. Come on down. Listen, you are going to get the swag bag of your dreams and the content that's going to move the needle in your life and help you find your purpose, find your vibrancy, and create magic in your life. Check it out at savingdinner.com/bloom. This one I am so excited about. And then we have an in-person full bloom coming in July. All you have to do to get to that one is get here. We're in Brevard, North Carolina. Asheville is the closest airport, but there's a couple of, we got Charlotte, North Carolina, Greenville, South Carolina as well. Plus, you want to get the accommodations because we light up around here. Our population triples, overly, almost quadruples in the summer. I'm excited too, Sarah. I know you're coming, and Nancy's coming. A few others have said they've already got their stuff all set. But we'll have tickets for you and what have you. Jenny and I will both be there. The rest of our dream team won't be here. But you know what? Someone's got to hold down the fort. But Jenny's going to be here. Jenny on the block. What else? Quote of the day. Quote of the week. Here it is. Only I can change my life. No one can do it for me. Says Carol Burnett. She has quite an interesting story. All of these comedians, they did not come from just happy, clappy homes, right? No, they did not. Life had changed dramatically for them. And that's, I don't know, maybe there's a connection there between an unhappy childhood and becoming a comedian later. I love it. Thank you, Jeanette. We're going to get a big haircut coming up here. I might show you. I might just shock you one day when you come up. I think that's everything. Oh, and by the way, if you haven't seen our TikTok yet, come on down. This is the one that I really want you to get behind for me. Would you do that? Love the videos. When you tap like this on the screen of your phone when you're looking on a TikTok video, that tells TikTok, hey, I love this stuff. And when TikTok loves it, they put you in the feed. And we're trying to grow our audience. This is what we're doing. Because you know what? There's a lot of women like you out there who are feeling left and just floating around without an anchor. And you are the community they're searching for. I want to bring them in. So help me out. Do it. Do it. Because you love me. Because I love you. All right. How about some questions? Did I answer everything, Jenny? She'll tell me. Yep. Questions? Let's do answers. Okay. First things first. This is from Gloria. Boy, Gloria, do I love you for this question. I wish I had a better answer. How's that? How do I get rid of the puffiness under my eyes? In other words, of the bags, right? Don't we hate those things? So here we go. I have bags too. Everybody has bags. They're right here. What I have noticed though, you get lymph and you get fluid and what have you in there. And as we get older, fat accumulates under your eyes. There's nothing you can do with that. I mean, don't you wish you could put like something hot on there and just melt it out like coconut oil or something? Can't do it. And I've noticed it becomes, it's becoming more pronounced as I get a little bit older. But it's also one of the biggest things that you can do is get yourself hydrated. And I'm talking about properly. That includes not just the water, not just the coffee and the tea and the soup and the, your smoothie, not just that stuff, but also getting in your electrolytes. That's going to help. And getting in your fiber, because this is what whisks the hydration into the cell. When we're properly hydrated, it seems, we lose some of the dampness, shall we say, under here. The other thing is a little lymph can get under there, especially when you wake up in the morning. When you wake up in the morning, you're just going, groggy eyed and what have you, trying to get your whatever. I found that just taking, like, obviously clean hands and just pressing a lot, and you can almost, your sinuses start to drain a little bit too. And that really seems to help to bring them down a little bit. And we're not talking about pulling the skin or anything, but just look at how I turn red. Pressing, just pressing. There's also jade rollers and all of that stuff. And the jury's out on how effective that is, but you could do some lymph massage for your face. Make sure you grease up your face, like, use some coconut oil, or another jojoba oil is a really good one, because jojoba oil is whatever it is, it doesn't clog your pores, and it's nice. But you want to go toward your heart and away from your heart is part of the whole thing. And it seems to help a little bit, but other than cosmetic procedures, what are you going to do? The other thing is to watch, if you have a diet of a lot of processed food, that's where you're getting too much salt from. People always freak out because they're always like, oh, I can't eat salt, and I'm scared about salt, and salt. The problem is it's the garbage that we have to read labels on, right? That's where your salt is. If you are cooking food and it's basically protein and vegetables, and you're making your own bone broth, and you're doing all of the stuff yourself, you're not going to have a problem with adding salt. You're not going to get too much salt. You just won't. So you don't need to worry about that. And I would, honestly, use a good salt. Pink Himalayan salt is essentially sea salt with lots of minerals in it. A little bit of iodine and some other minerals, and probably some things we haven't even nailed down on as to what they are. So, really, really good stuff. And I strongly suggest that you make a swap with your salt. You don't want table salt, the little girl with the yellow umbrella on there. You don't want that stuff. That's garbage. It even has glucose in it, and it won't dissolve. Watch, when you put it in water, it won't dissolve. Pink Himalayan salt does. So it's not so much salt. It's a matter of processing and using salt. And remember, every cell in your body requires salt. Your heart needs salt. When they come out with all of these recommendations for keeping your sodium down, the AHA and everybody else, I always think it's just simply because people eat garbage. They're eating stuff that's processed in bags, in cans, and frozen. And of course, you've got to watch that salt, because if you look at it, it's like 1,800 milligrams of salt in a can of something, or a frozen fill in the blank. That's why. But we need salt. Salt is not the enemy. The enemy is processed foods with added salt. Salt. That's what they do to make it taste good, because it's garbage. Sorry, that's just the case. But again, if you are creating your own food, cooking it from scratch, using single ingredient foods, no can of this or can of that, no canned soups. Oh my gosh, those are just a nightmare. None of that crap. Then you're going to be fine adding salt. The trick is, especially for salt and potassium, we have in each cell, we have this thing called the potassium salt pump, right? I don't know, maybe that's not the correct term, but I always think of it as a seesaw. So when you've had too much salt, right? This is me after eating Chinese food. I'm a total puffed faced nightmare. So I always, if we have bananas on hand, I'll eat a banana, because it'll bring in the potassium and kind of even things out a little bit. That's what happens. So get into some high potassium foods like a banana, or some greens. Leafy greens are all high in potassium, and it'll make all the difference in the world. The other thing that you can do is cool cucumbers, a cool tea bag. You can take, if you use our Wise Women's tea, save those tea bags and throw them in the freezer. Bring them out and just let the compress, It's the catechins in the tea that help to deflate those eye bags, and it's also the a little bit of the caffeine as well that will help to deflate the eyeball, the whatever you want to call it. If you're not getting enough sleep, that's going to, obviously affect you. You also might consider a wedged pillow so that your head is slightly elevated. All of that's going to help. There is no eye cream out there that will do it. There is no special anything that's going to do it. It is an inside job to get those eye bags down. And if your kidneys are distressed, people with distressed kidneys, oftentimes people who have diabetes too, will have very pronounced eye bags. That's because their kidneys are a little bit stressed out. So make sure that you do that. There you go. Kathy's throwing down the knowledge. She's a chemistry teacher. There you go. There you go. Potassium sodium pump and secondary magnesium calcium pump. Exactly. Which they're kind of like opposites. That's, like I said, it's the teeter-totter effect. And this is why your calcium magnesium needs to be a 1-to-1 ratio. That's an extra bonus point that I just threw out there. That's why our calcium magnesium's like nobody else's. Mm-hmm. Hi, Erica. I'm glad you're here. Noreen, look at that. Gosh, where have you been? You've been hiding out. Glad to have you here. All right, so that was from Gloria. I hope that helps, Gloria. But I hear you, girlfriend. I mean, one of the things I'm constantly going, I hate those. I wish I had an ironing board where I could just iron them, or some kind of a tool that you just iron them out. But they puff out a little bit. I've noticed that more in this past year than ever before. I don't know. I'm getting ready to turn 64. Maybe that's my birthday present. No thanks. All right, speaking of Kathy, here she is. A good friend has been diagnosed with mild rosacea on one cheek and the chin area. The areas are very pink but smooth. There's like 3 types of rosacea, by the way. She's been prescribed Metro Gel, I know that one, and told to wash with Kenyo Champagne Foaming Gel Cleanser. I don't know that one. I've shown her my bottles of your cleanser, but she doesn't like the lavender scent. I gave her a bottle of Beauty Support and the recipe for bone broth. Good idea. Because, when you have rosacea, your skin is basically being attacked. And there is some people out there saying that rosacea is an autoimmune disorder, which I really believe totally. Having been through the worst possible case of rosacea and making it go away on my own, I am adamant about getting proper treatment for it, and also the ways that you can control it, which I'm going to tell you in a minute. She says, I don't recall what else you've mentioned besides bone broth, collagen, and beauty support. I don't. Please review what you've said about controlling and reversing rosacea. Okay, so let's remember we've got 2 things that we need to do. One is we have to treat it. The other is we need to give your skin the building materials to rebuild it. And that's exactly what the bone broth, collagen, and beauty support. It's a triple whammy every single flippin' day. Every day I have bone broth. Every day I have perfect paleo protein. Every day I have beauty support, because the beauty support helps you create your own collagen. The collagen in perfect paleo protein, which is pretty much all collagen, obviously you're going to take that in. And then the bone broth has other things in it like glycine and proline, different things that are also minerals that help to build, or amino acids that help to build the skin back up. So those are your building materials for the skin. Now we need to heal it. What can we do? Well, number 1 is change your diet. For this, I would go, now she's got slap your face pink, but slap your face pink can just turn up and turn into the crusty, awful, pustular kind in a heartbeat. Ask me how I know. I started with red cheeks, and then everything changed. I remember I was sitting in a hot tub, and I had all of a sudden my forehead it was just like red and itchy, and I couldn't figure what the heck is going on here. And then it made itself known, and then I got two red cheeks, and just kind of ignored it, and finally just died back down. I noticed stress brought it on, wine brought it on, hot stuff brought it on. Those are two things you probably need to back away from it at least 30 days. I would do the autoimmune protocol that we have. We have it in Dinner Answers and AIP. The autoimmune protocol takes out anything that might be a food sensitivity. So you're no dairy, no nuts, no nightshades like tomatoes and eggplant. Those could be a trigger. All kinds of things could be a trigger. The biggest, though, is dairy and gluten, unfortunately. Dairy and gluten, they go to hand in hand, and they just go, let me just destroy your skin. It's a bummer. But just you take that out of your diet. You leave behind the cheese. Yes, I'm talking about your cheese. You leave that stuff behind for 30 days and just do a cleanup on all 5, including all of the, any kind of booze, any kind of wine, any kind of anything that could cause a flush. Manage your stress. Oh, did I say manage your stress? Oh, manage your stress, because stress brings it on. And you can have like ongoing rosacea, and then you could also have a flush, which brings on even more. It's just absolutely nightmarish. And this is what happened. Now, my doctor tried me with Metrogel. That was completely worthless, didn't do a thing for me. And what helped with, healing it up was cilantro. Now, believe it or not, cilantro is ivermectin. Yep, you know what ivermectin is. I mean, everybody knows what ivermectin is. You got to clean it up. You've got to clean it up. You have to get in there and do the healing. As you're doing all the stuff to build it back, you've got to do the cleanup as well. And that's where you go and you get this. You have to ask the doctor for. It's ridiculously expensive, unbelievably expensive. And it's the same darn crap that they give. It's horse warmer, same stuff. Everybody was talking about it during COVID and all of that. I won't even go there because there's a lot of nonsense in that. But let me just tell you something. It's all of, there's Demodex mites on your face. Everyone has them. You have mites living on your face, in your eyelashes, and in your eyebrows. They're just there. That's we are walking, talking homes to bacteria and little critters. Y'all, you can't get rid of that. Just deal with it. I know it's kind of nightmarish, especially if you go and you look up these Demodex mites online and you go and look at a picture, a Google image, you'll freak out. I mean, I was like, oh my gosh, I'm a full cootie. But this is what I know. Ew, ew, ew. But let me just tell you what, Noreen, they're in your eyebrows too. They're in all of us. But what happens in this type of a rosacea is that they're just out of hand. And what this ivermectin does is kill them out, gone. So I had a tube of ivermectin, and I looked online for coupons for ivermectin so I could get it at it, because my insurance would cover the Metrogel, worthless. But and the other thing is my doctor also put me on an antibiotic, and I was like considering the antibiotic, and she was just, this is the same doctor, by the way, who told me that there's no difference between hypothyroidism and Hashimoto's. So I did not take the antibiotic, and I was thinking, why do I need to ruin my gut health when that's part of the whole reason I'm having this happen too? By the way, it is, and why would I do that? I mean, this is standard, medical care. This is what they do. If you go to a doctor, you have rosacea, they're going to give you the Metrogel. And I've never met a person who's had rosacea that has had success with it. Not one. And then they're also going to say, and we want to put you on a round of antibiotics forever. I just cannot think of worse advice. So I looked it up myself. I did my research, and this is when I found this whole mite business. And, was after I got over my creepy, crawly, yucky thing, okay, so let's deal with it. What do we need? And this is when I found out about cilantro. At that time, it was a brand new medication just out, just FDA approved. No insurance company would touch it. And so they wanted for this little tube $175 or something ridiculous. And honestly, it's the same stuff as they're putting in a horse wormer, exactly, except with a little cream in it. I am not advising you to go get horse worm. You want to know how much you're putting on your face. This stuff is toxic. So I found a coupon, just coupon plus cilantro, and they're there. And I got it for like half off. And let me tell you, they told you to use like a pea-size thing of it. And I took that pea size, and I realized that pea size didn't feel like it was going for far enough. And so I took a little pea size thing of it and a little bit of jojoba oil, because that's really tiny and goes in. And I, did one of these and got it all over where I needed to put it. And I worked it into my eyebrows, and I did not put it in my eyes or my eyelashes, but I did that. And, within like a week, I was 100%, not 100% better, but 75% better. And there you go. That is how you kill those little bastards. That is. And that you have to. But you also can't just say, oh, I'm just going to kill them and continue on with all the stuff that's going to trigger it. You got to get rid of the dairy. You got to do the 30-day dealio. What oil? Oh, a jojoba. It's Jobo, Jehovah. I don't know. I don't know how to spell that. But yeah, jojoba oil. I mean, there it is. Trader Joe's has it. I keep it in my medicine chest because it's just a good, non-clogging oil. Fantastic stuff. But, that's what I did just to get that cream on, because I wasn't going to be sitting there gobbing all that expensive cream on my face. And plus, it's basically putting pesticide on your face is what it is. And so I'm just like, okay, if this is what it's going to take to get rid of it, we got to get rid of it. We got to kill those guys. So let's do that. That's the thing that made the difference, that killed it all off. Then the last thing that I did is I went to my doctor, my dermatologist, and they did intense pulse light. Now they'll do that for like precancerous spots, which I've had on my face too, but that they'll do like, and it just feels like a little rubber band going snap, 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 every time they hit you on the face. But when you have rosacea, what I did is they had a special, this is my dermatologist in Charlotte, they had a special for a package of them, and I got 3 of them, and that's all I needed, just to kill off whatever else was there, because I certainly didn't want to be putting that pesticide crap on my face all the time. 1 tube and the IPL was the killing part, but then I had to build back, and I built back better, by the way, with all this collagen and the beauty support and all of that. So it's made all the difference in the world. That is my story, and I'm sticking with it. Let me tell you something. You don't want rosacea ever. Getting rid of it is just a nightmare, and you have to be so diligent to do it. I feel really blessed because, I got rid of Hashimoto's and rosacea. And right now, my biggest thing is I'm working on getting rid of all those antibodies. I've got this many left. Need to get rid of them. I saw an interesting TikTok, as a matter of fact, about longevity, and people who have antibodies in their bloodstream will not live to 100. I'm going to be living to 120, so we've got to take care of that. I'm working on it. I'll tell you how that goes too next time I get my blood work done. All right, from Tracy, how late is too late to drink hot milk? The reason I'm asking is there are a couple of times I did it near bedtime, and I woke up every 2 hours on one of those occasions. I have sleep issues to start with. Work in progress here, which, if you've seen my hot seat application, you already know. Yes, I do. Okay, so here you go. This is the deal. It will make you feel good and awake. And for some people, some people can take it before they go to bed. No big deal. Other people cannot. And you're probably one of the cannots. So do it in the day. As a matter of fact, Tracy, join us, Nancy and I, in our little hot milk mix afternoon fill in the blank. There you go. Thyroid antibodies. Okay. Then that's it. Do it in the afternoon. Don't do it before bed. All right. Carol said, hi, you said on one of your shows this week that we can slowly increase the fiber in our smoothies, but we have to make sure we stay well hydrated. I'm just curious what happens if we increase the fiber and something happens that may not cause us to get the correct amount of hydration. You don't want to know. Have you ever put so much, well, let me just tell you my my potato story. I was at my mother-in-law's. This is way back when we were, when my kids were little. I was at my mother-in-law's, and it was Easter, as a matter of fact, and I was making potato salad. And they have this house in Laguna Beach, and I was sitting there chatting away with whomever, and don't you know, I was threw all those potato peels down her garbage disposal, and the garbage disposal stopped working. I was running the water, flicking the switch. I was like, what's going on here? And she said, did you put potato peels down that garbage disposal? And I said, yeah, aren't you supposed to, you can't do that? And she said, no, this is how I broke my garbage disposal. They lived in La Cañada, Flint Ridge, and had a place in Laguna. And this is how I broke it in La Cañada. And I said, okay. So, I pulled all those potatoes peels out and reset it and used that little Allen wrench, did all the things. It was broken. I broke it. This is what happens to us when we stuff way too much fiber down us without enough hydration. Just like that garbage disposal, we'll get stuck, maybe even broken. We'll get constipated. We'll get bloated bellies. We'll feel really bad. It doesn't work. You got to have the hydration if you've got the fiber in place. And let me just tell you, we can stack our hydration sometimes. And if we're doing it correctly, like we're getting the fiber in and the electrolytes in, it makes it so much easier. Every single day you should be pooping like a queen, every single day. And we're talking about first thing in the morning. This is one of the first things that you do. When you go to the bathroom, there's a big snake in your toilet. Because you don't want floating poops. You don't want pebble poops. You want a big, long snake. That's your fiber telling you what the heck is going on. So here I am telling you all about poop again. Doesn't it always devolve to this? I have to tell you about poop. But that is the thing that's going to happen is either constipation or bloating, even stomach aches, even stomach cramps. You'll feel terrible. So water, water, water. Get your hydration in. Get your fiber going. Yeah, makes a huge difference. And boy, oh boy, doesn't it feel good first thing in the morning. Chris, thank you for the poop emoji. I know we can't do Q&A Friday without talking about poop. If you're a happy pooper, I tell Lincoln he's a happy pooper every day when he does his business first thing in the morning. If you're a happy pooper, pinkies up. And a poop emoji, if you will, please. So anyway, that's what happens, Carol. And you're welcome. I'm glad I can help get your hydration in, honey. That's all. Tammy's got a question. If I'm only having one meal after breaking my fast with a smoothie, do I need to do anything different for my macros or calorie count? No. I know I should up the protein a bit at dinner. What else? We're going to go from how you feel. Eat until you're satisfied. Stop before you're full. Because, we don't have to worry about these niggly little details like, oh, what are my macros? And do I need to pee on a stick? Count my calories, yada, yada, yada. I lost 70 pounds without counting calorie one or peeing on a stick or anything else. And it was all because I started to trust the system. That's me. Start listening to your body. Your body has hunger hormones that will fire and will correct themselves if we take away the inflammatory ingredients. Period. Inflammatory ingredients. The inflammatory ingredients, of course, is all that sugar, those carbohydrates. Carbohydrates are sugar, okay? Sometimes they're just like mainline stuff, like, you've got your candy and cookies and all that. But then they're also pasta, rice, and potatoes and all of that. those are high glycemic. They're going to spike you up pretty quickly. And then there's the slower carbs like sweet potatoes and what have you, which are, better. But the fact of the matter remains, and you ready for this? This is a truth bomb and a half. We don't need carbohydrates. We don't. It is not essential. Protein's essential. Fiber is essential. Water is essential. Fat is essential. Carbohydrates are not, because carbohydrates make the glucose that goes into the cells. Every cell needs that. But you can do that from a steak. You can do that with an egg. It just takes a whole lot longer for your body to do it. And when we get rid of all those insulin spikes that we're getting from all of this stuff, we're going to start feeling really well, a lot better. But, Tammy, the thing is with this is I just say, trust how you feel. And if you're saying, I think I need a little more protein, then add another ounce or two for your meal. That's fine. But if you are listening to your body, we have leptin and ghrelin. Those are the two main ones, right? We also have stomach stretch receptor hormones. We have all kinds of stuff, all communicating to the brain. And when the ghrelin is out of control, which is what happens when it's fed all those carbohydrates, it's just like, yippee, it's a party. More, That's what ghrelin does. And ghrelin keeps you on that absolutely exhausting treadmill of constantly eating, constantly rattling around in the cupboards, never quite being satisfied. While leptin, on the other hand, you know what leptin on the other hand does? Leptin controls it and says, okay, you've had enough. That's it. You're good. You have to listen for leptin. And leptin lives in your fat. It's one of the reasons we have leptifix is because we sometimes inadvertently break our leptin when we're losing all this weight. Our leptin just kind of goes off the rails a little bit. And you might feel a little bit, crazy. A little bit like, oh, my appetite suddenly is going a little bit crazy. You don't have to. Listen to your body. And I'm going to tell you right now, Tammy, you've been around for a while. And I just want everyone who's listening right now to appreciate and honor your body's signals. And even if they're wild and wacky, I'm telling you, if you're hot melting it and you're eating all those green leafy greens, you're getting the proper amount of good, healthy fat in, and you're getting the protein in that you need, you're going to find corrections happening. All of a sudden, your appetite won't be raging out of control. All of a sudden, you'll have enough, and you'll be able to put your fork down and say, I'm just fine. And here's a trick. When you feel like you're getting to the place of full, put your fork down and give it a minute, have a conversation with someone, give it 10 minutes. That's how long it takes for your stomach stretch receptors in your stomach to fully expand and signal and tell your brain, okay, we've had enough. This is how you get to the place of satisfied and not full. Otherwise, you get to the place of, oh yeah, I'm kind of full. And then 10 minutes later, you're going, I feel like Thanksgiving. That's why. So if we're honoring and if we're listening to our body as we go, eating when we're hungry, not before, not by the clock, stopping before we're full, but satisfied, then our bodies are going to just start regulating themselves automatically. You won't have to count a single calorie. You won't have to pee on a stick. You won't have to count points. You won't have to make yourself crazy with 15 different apps on your phone. You don't have to do any of that. It's natural. It's intuitive eating. That is the goal. That's the goal. I was told to watch for a sneeze or a sigh as a sign that I was satisfied. That's weird. I've never heard that before. All right, I'm going to watch for that. How does chia pudding fit into the Hot Melt 30? When do I eat it? You eat it as a meal. And the chia seed, you're doing that in lieu of a Target Trifecta smoothie. That's all. And it's just fun because who doesn't love a little chia seed pudding? Chia seed pudding's like tapioca, but tinier. And that's what I did today, by the way. And I love it. It's just so good and has a nice texture to it and tons. By the way, chia seed is a great source of protein. It's also a great source of fiber and omega-3 fatty acids. So you're getting a double whammy in. Now, those chia seeds, you just make sure that they're perfectly gelled and you'll be in good stead. She said, I switched to pink salt years ago. Now I'm wondering if I need the iodine that's supplemented into table salt. Do I need to supplement? No. Again, back to that whole salt discussion, you don't. There is some iodine in pink salt, and of course that's going to vary. But most Americans get too much iodine because it's in a whole lot of stuff. And if you're eating fish every week, which you should be, I hope you're eating salmon, get on it. Just you're good. You've got all kinds of iodine. Now, if you don't have enough iodine, you're going to have signs like you'll have heart palpitations or fuzzy memory. You might be losing hair. A lot of it looks very much like thyroid, but we shouldn't be messing around with iodine. You can do a urine test if you want to and find how much iodine is in your system. But remember something too. This is the other thing. We're always in a state of change. Just because you do an iodine test last Wednesday and it's showing, oh my gosh, you don't have any iodine. You're going, yeah, well, I didn't eat any fish either that week or whatever. And I mean, even liver and dairy and meat have iodine in them. So if that's the case, and then this week you're having suddenly you're going, I'm just eating a lot I had salmon and I had cod. Cod is really high in iodine, by the way. Then you might find yourself in a place of just sufficient, more than sufficient iodine if you did another urine test. You see what I'm saying? It depends on what you eat. And iodine's one of these things you don't want to mess with because, once upon a time, I, was thinking, oh my gosh, I must be low iodine because I have this, hypothyroidism and all of that. Not necessarily. As a matter of fact, my doctor, who is Dr. Alan Christensen, he's in Arizona, brilliant man. He wrote the book, The Thyroid Reset. You should read it if you haven't yet and you have a thyroid condition. He is adamantly against any iodine being added in because most Americans get too much. So we don't need to worry about iodine. What we really need to be considering is, are we getting the full spectrum of minerals that are available for us? That's one of the reasons why I'm so in love with pink Himalayan salt. There's tons of different minerals in there. Some probably we haven't even named, really. We want full spectrum mineral type things to be in our bodies. This is why all those green vegetables and everything that we're eating, it just makes all the difference in the world. And that, my friends, is our Q&A for FriYAY. What a great fun week this has been, right? I hope you enjoyed our whole series that we did on clapping back. Next week we have another series for you, so that's going to be fun. I will see you on Monday if you are going to be here. Meanwhile, don't forget about our show or our supplement of the week. That's at savingdinner.com/show. Buy two, get one free. You don't want to miss out on that deal. And go get your seat, for heaven's sakes, for our virtual event happening on Saturday, April 23rd. savingdinner.com/bloom. It wouldn't be the same without you. Peace be with you. I appreciate you. See you Monday.
Thanks for watching. Check back for new episodes. If you missed the live show, you can always watch the replay. You can find Saving Dinner on YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, and TikTok. Until next time, pinkies up.